Hi, Gene Basler here. It's May 26th, 2010, and I am in an undisclosed Houston neighborhood, and we're going to look at a declining live oak tree. What we have here is a very thin crown, very compromised. See, look at the neighboring tree. That's not great, but it's much thicker than this one. Tip dieback throughout the crown, and aggressive sprouting along all the branches. Tip dieback and sprouting together are classic symptoms of root loss caused by root rot, collar rot, or other forms of root loss. So we're going to come to the base and we're going to look more closely at this beautiful specimen that is in what I would consider a more or less rapid state of decline. Caladium, probably a lot more water than the tree would like to have. And this nest of fern is probably too much water too. These are all great things and they really provide a great aesthetic appeal, but let's talk about this from a bit of a distance. We have built this up into a raised bed with a beautiful stone edging, and consequently we have buried the root crown or root collar, the part of the tree that flares out at the base. This further supports my non-clinical diagnosis of Phytophthora root rot. But we also have probably some other crown rotting pathogens as well. So a cursory examination of the soil here, and we have matted roots up against the trunk. We have spongy bark, and it's not as far down to at least the beginnings of the root flare as it originally looked, at least not on this side. But as we work our way around this tree, we see that this constant moisture, constant anaerobic conditions that we have created around the trunk of this tree are major contributors to the tree's overall condition and decline. So this bark is flaking away much too easily with my finger. This bark is, let's see if you can see that in the picture, where this bark is actually flaking off. Well, it's very spongy, let's put it that way. So again, yeah, it's rotting away, very, very much so. So excavating out this root collar, restoring the natural soil line, bringing this bed down to natural grade, expanding, doing the classic Bartlett tree experts root invigoration procedure. I would prefer to go out 12 radial feet with that procedure. In fact, I'd prefer to do it to the whole front yard if I really wanted to be successful at saving this tree. But this bed needs to be restored to natural grade, and the soil reconditioning procedure needs to be done, upon completion of which the homeowners, which are avid gardeners as one can see, I encourage the homeowners at the completion of the root invigoration procedure to go back in and plant. It's going to be a little bit of a challenge because we like color here, but what we really need are low water requiring perennials, shade tolerant. So what we're talking about is perennials whose moisture requirements are parallel to that of the tree, which is much less than they've been getting. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the film and collect a soil sample and stick the probe in the ground here a couple of times and see what we see.